Thanks for watching the Paul Farrington Show. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of the above. And make sure you follow us at Paul Farrington Show on Instagram. Thanks for watching. And welcome into the Paul Farrington Show, the NFL Divisional Round, Chiefs-Jaguars reaction show. Paul Farrington joined alongside Jack Weinberger. We have Robert Ziggy Ziegler back at the University of Virginia. Finally, home sweet home. Ziggy is joining us once again. And guys, a 27-20 win for the Chiefs here. They're going to their fifth straight AFC Championship game. Some people like Jack and my father quite unhappy with that backdoor cover from the Jaguars from a gambling perspective.
Grandma left the back door open, baby. You never fade that sharp money. Remember our last episode?
Yep. We left. Ziggy, we left with 27-17. Chiefs had the ball to come record. And as we're on our way over, Jack has a score. He goes, oh, my God, the Jaguars got the ball back. And it was just a slow progression of watching him go, 40-yard line, 35, 4th and 5.
Of course they covered. Of course they covered.
After the pick, it was over.
Oh, me too.
I thought there was no chance the Jags can cover that game.
Now, I want to start with the Jaguars here before we hit on the Chiefs. I really do think that in this game and throughout this playoff run, really the final 5 games of the season during this Jacksonville winning streak, it started to become more and more apparent to me just how much, and really throughout this season, I became to appreciate coaching in the NFL a lot more. Maybe it just took too long for me to get to that point. But Doug Pederson takes a 3-14 team from a year ago, a team with back-to-back first overall picks in the draft, and he turns them into a wild card team, a division winner, a divisional round now, a playoff team. And I really, you got to give kudos to him because this was a team with Urban Meyer a year ago. I don't think many people would have said that this turnaround was likely to happen. And he was one of those coaches who was able to get the most out of his players. We see it with Brian Dable. The Giants are about to kick off soon. They really did shine at the end of the season. And I think we're seeing a Jaguars team that's growing and likely to be the favorite to win the AFC South next season. So we were talking again off air just how great this job was by Doug Pederson. Ziggy, you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, there's going to be some haters out there, and what they're going to say is, all right, what the Jaguars did is they won the easiest division in football, the AFC South, and then they beat a Chargers team that totally choked after being down, 27-0? But that's not what I see. I see a team taking a lot of steps forward, getting that valuable playoff experience. Trevor Lawrence is finally looking a little bit like the player he was cracked up to be. Honestly, this team is a sleeper AFC champion next year. I think there's a lot to like. I mean, Doug Pederson has shown he can coach Super Bowl winning teams. This team was resilient, right? Down a ton of points. They were able to come back and beat the Chargers. They went to Arrowhead and didn't play scared. If it weren't for that really unfortunate Jamal Agnew fumble, decent chance they win the game. Not great, mind you, but they had a real chance of going into Arrowhead and winning for a second-year quarterback.
Oh, this is certainly a game that the Jaguars fans can look back on and say, oh, if we'd only done something different there. You can't let Chad Henne come in and go on a 98, 97-yard touchdown drive. Agnew's fumble was huge, too. Absolutely opportunities and moments of regret for Jacksonville. But overall in the season, I think you look at this as a huge win. And you might have a quarterback who can get into that tier. I don't want to say on Mahomes' level, but would it be surprising to see Trevor Lawrence on a similar level to Justin Herbert next season? I don't think so.
I mean, I thought, as the viewers who watched our last episode, that the Chiefs were going to maul the Jaguars. Mm-hmm. I laid the points of the Chiefs. We put a clip out in Arrowhead Stadium. I thought the Jags won their Super Bowl, came back, great comeback against the Chargers. And that was it for them. And they showed phenomenal fight on the road. Again, they could have won. Down 27-17, 5 minutes left. You have the ball on the 5-yard line again with the fumble. You make it 27-24 instead of fumbling. I mean, you saw him get the ball back and win the game.
Yeah.
Very impressive stuff. And again, tell that sharp money. Tell that sharp money.
Yeah, Ziggy, what do you think of that? Trevor Lawrence, going into next season, what are the expectations? The AFC is filled with great quarterbacks. How do you see him sorting out among those guys, the expectations going into next season?
The AFC next year is going to be an absolute quarterback gauntlet, right? So here are the players who are almost certainly going to be in the playoffs next year. Just division winners. There's a good chance you got Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Trevor Lawrence. Then you're looking at wild card guys. Guys like Justin Herbert, who if he gets a team around him and a competent coach, which seems unlikely to happen, that could be big. Lamar Jackson could be back and playing for the Ravens or for the Jets, if you will listen to a certain Andrew Keenan. Tua will be healthy. Hopefully, there's a good chance he'll be playing. It's an absolute gauntlet. But
He's missing
it's
one.
hard for me not to see Trevor Lawrence as at least the fourth best quarterback. I think he'll probably be a firm number 4 there.
So you have him over Herbert.
I have him. I think he'll be better than Herbert next year.
Wow.
I think there's a decent chance he'll be better than Jackson. I see a player ascending. And look, the Jaguars have their draft pick. Get him a wide receiver. Get him something on offense. Let the defense continue to develop. Let the other offensive
Christian
players.
Kirk is awesome, but they need that guy.
Oh, and boy, if Christian Kirk didn't get hurt, again, different game.
Mm-hmm. The funny thing is, you go back to that week 18, Tennessee could have beat them, and that could have been it.
Yeah.
Like, everyone was right.
Oh, it's crazy how the perceptions of a season can change based on one game.
Yeah, like if the Jags had lost that game, it was like a average, mediocre Lawrence, mediocre Jags, 7-9, whatever, 8-8, 500 again. And now we're talking about them like this could be a contender next year.
Yeah, and I want to add on top of that, Ziggy, all those quarterbacks you mentioned, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, there's a chance that those guys could be in the AFC as well. We'll talk a lot about that during the offseason, but the AFC is shaping up to be easily the more talented quarterback conference, but really more talent there at the quarterback position than we've seen really in a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tom Brady's going to be in Miami next year. Not playing football. Retired Tom Brady in Miami.
Let's talk a little bit about the Chiefs here. At 27, I think it was 2017 when the Chiefs got the ball back with about 10 minutes to go, 9 minutes. And at that point, I just made a note saying, like, okay, here we go. Do you doubt Mahomes? Does anyone doubt Mahomes? And with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, we see Marquez Valdez-Scantling in the back of the end zone. I just said, why would anyone doubt this guy? He's just unbelievable. Fights through the ankle injury. And again, gets to his 5th straight AFC Championship game. There's really not too much to talk about from Patrick Mahomes other than we know how great he is. We know how great he's going to be for the future. Ziggy, why you?
I mean, Patrick Mahomes is all right, but I think Chad Henne showed pretty firmly that Mahomes is a system quarterback, carried by the offense.
The first round, the man comes in, 98-yard touchdown.
You're right.
Oh, he just happens to have a record-setting tight end and Juju.
Here's the thing.
Scantling,
I think that with the home field advantage Casey has is a big factor in why they won this game.
Yeah,
like that late fumble, the late pick, like that doesn't seem to happen when you're not playing at home.
And he's never been on the road,
which is huge. If Buffalo were to beat Cincinnati and they play on a neutral field, if you contain Travis Kelce, I think you can beat them.
Well, that's what I want to talk about.
He had 14 catches for 100 yards.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. 10 catches in the first half. We were talking a little bit about this before coming on. If you're a Chiefs fan, you got to want to be at home.
Home.
But Cincinnati's had your number now for 3 or 4 games in a row.
This is the most ridiculous thing ever if you say they'd rather play the
I would rather be at home, but I think Buffalo's an easier opponent than Kansas City.
You'd rather play at home in the
Cincinnati
AFC chip than a neutral field against Buffalo. Yeah. I'm not even going to argue.
Ziggy, you agree with that?
Honestly, I think both of these teams are a tough draw.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills have their strengths. The Bengals have their strengths. I think the thing that matters isn't where they're playing. It's going to be 100% Patrick Mahomes' ankle. Depending on how bad an injury it is, we could see him either close to 100% next week or else hobbling around. And I think if he's hobbling around, I'd much rather face the Bills defensive front without Von Miller than the Bengals, who have been able to get to him pretty consistently. People forget the Bills pass rush without Von Miller is flat out bad.
No, the Bills have been struggling lately. And I don't want to make it sound like I love home field.
Like
I would rather be at home. I would rather be at home.
My angle. I'm not even
I would rather be at home. I'm just saying. And a lot of Chiefs fans, anyone who watches this is probably going to be like, of course we want to be at home.
Yeah, but not one person will say.
Yeah, everyone will want to be at home. But it is interesting when there's a team like the Bengals who seem to have your number right now. There are just some matchups that don't go in your favor, and this could be one for Cincinnati, though.
Look, I mean, Bengals, Bills, both on a neutral field. I might rather play at Buffalo.
Yeah. But a struggling Buffalo team versus someone who's owned you for a while.
No, I want to play an Arrowhead in the championship.
I'd agree with you. And all right, so we're all in agreement there. We'll keep this quick, unless if anyone has any other points they want to make. This is just a quick hitter reaction show to Jags-Chiefs.
All I've got to say is this. The fact that, if you flash back to last offseason, people are talking about how about Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes was going to get exposed. The Chiefs were going to really struggle. Somehow the offense has improved after trading a guy who's still one of the best receivers in football. What Andy Reid, Mahomes, and Kelce have been able to do is unbelievable. And it's hard for me not to put them as the Super Bowl favorites after seeing this game.
No, just a great coaching job this season by Andy Reid.
I'd probably book him as the favorite too.
To come full circle here, look at the coaches who are standing right now. Most of them are considered the best in the business.
And all except one are offensive coaches.
Yep. That was another big thing. That was another big little fun stat I saw there. I think McDermott's the only defensive oriented
Correct.
coach
Yeah.
left.
Other than that, every single one is on offense. So Jets fans, yet another reason to despair.
Yes. We look forward to having Andrew Keenan with us, hopefully at the start of next week when we'll talk some Jets football. Jets Lamar Jackson talk starting to heat up a little bit. His dad was telling me they want Aaron Rodgers now, so
that'd be something.
We'll surely get some fun interactions there.
I bet Jets fans want $1 million too.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm telling the Sharps tonight with the Eagles -7.5. No longer fading those guys.
By the time most people watch this, they'll know if you've made a lot of money tonight or lost a lot of money. Yeah. Again, thanks for listening to the Jags-Chiefs reaction show. Thanks to Mike Rotundo, executive producer, for stepping in tonight.
Special thanks, Mike. Special thanks.
And we will see you on Tuesday. Have a good one.